10.
Bill Rizzuto throwing out the first pitch.
9.
Fastball hit deep to right. This could be it. Way back there. Oh!
8.
Lawrence Peter Barra, known to everyone as Yogi, star catcher of the New York Yankees.
7.
Here's the payoff pitch. This is it. There it goes. It's out of here.
6.
This ball club will be remembered by me forever because you have heart as big as this city and you showed what being New Yorkers is all about. God bless you.
5.
Hits in 56 consecutive games. That's an all-time record set by the Yankee Clipper Joe DiMaggio.
4.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
3.
Number 3 will never be worn by another Yankee player, but will go to America's baseball shrine at Cooperstown, New York.
2.
Derek Jeter ends his final game with a walk-off single. Derek Jeter, where fantasy becomes reality.
1.
That's not the way it's going to be, George. Damn right it is. If you don't like it, you're fired. You haven't hired me yet.
What is going on, everybody? It is yours truly, the Ace, and the moment a lot of you guys have been waiting for is officially here. Pitchers and Catchers is here after a long off season, and I got my guy Hector in the building, one of the most busiest content creators out there. This man has been on full grind mode all off season, and I'm glad that you can come on here with me, man. How you doing, my guy?
I'm good, my guy. I appreciate you for the invite. I appreciate you for the introduction. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Like you said, pitchers and catchers are finally here. This is the moment we have been waiting for ever since the last out of the World Series. February 11th, Yankee fans locked in. We got some good content to come through.
Absolutely. Shout outs to a couple people in the chat. Derek Jeter's in the building. Not the real Derek Jeter, but hey, appreciate you. My guy Brandon in the building. Thank you. Savius is in the house. And Big Blue Wrecking Crew says, let's go Yankees. But yeah, heck, man, the moment we've been waiting for is finally here. Hey, people say that Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year. I defute that, man. Hey, it's this time of the year, man. Pitchers and catchers, spring training, always, brings in a new year for me. Freshly cut grass, going out there, playing America's pastime, man. We love our baseball, man. And it's just this, like I said, most wonderful time of the year. And I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, no, same. I'm super excited to talk about it. I know a lot of Yankee fans, we got a bad taste in our mouth from the World Series, from that last out, from that fifth inning. But, we got a new book to write. We got a new chapter that starts today. Pitchers and catchers reported. We already see some videos from spring training from George M. Steinbrenner Field, some sound clips, some sound notes from Aaron Boone and the rest of the squad. Like you said, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited. This team looks hungry. This team looks good. I like the pivot from Brian Cashman after losing out on Juan Soto. I know we're going to get into a lot of things, but I'm excited, bro, and I appreciate to have this conversation with you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Make sure you guys subscribe to Hector. His link is down below. He does a great show over there at Uptown Sports TV with his lovely co-host, Grace. They don't just do Yankee stuff. They do a little Giant stuff, Jet stuff, Knicks stuff.
Yes.
I see it all, a little bit of something over there for everybody in sports fans. I've gone over there a couple times, man. Good show. Make sure you guys go ahead and sub up. You guys are on the road to 5K?
Yeah, 5K. We're at 4820 right now. Just to let you guys know, like you said, we got a Yankee show on the channel, a Knicks show on the channel. We got a show that comes on every Thursdays with some of the fellas from WFAN, Al Cintrone, Pete Kennedy, and Anthony Gallo. That's a very interesting and fun show to watch every Thursday night. So we got some good stuff cooking over there at Uptown Sports TV. Shout out to not only me, but the other different content creators that are on the channel.
Nice. Yeah, I love what you guys are doing over there. But yeah, speaking of cooking up, Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner cooked up a little bit of something this offseason. Pivoted perfectly, like I said, from Juan Soto. There's no replacing the Juan Soto. Let's put it like that offensively. But the Yankees have done a phenomenal job early in the offseason. The last month and a half, a little bit slow. We went ahead and added a couple pitchers as well, 2 lefties for the bullpen. couple other holes that we have to figure out which one we determine as well. But I did want to ask you. I saw you at the Pinstripe Pride event, weren't you there?
Yes.
And I saw that you were talking to Oswaldo Cabrera.
Mm-hmm.
Were you telling them like, "Hey, man, you got to get this together and go ahead and win this third base job for us, so we ain't got to worry about DJ LeMahieu." You know what I'm saying? But nah, I love Waldo, man. He's a great dude. He looks like a Yankee. I wish him nothing but success. Would love to see him start opening day. But third base, man, let's go ahead and get into that. You got a little bit of a hole over there at third base that we got to figure out. Aaron Boone came out today. It was basically saying that he's not going to put anything past the healthy DJ LeMahieu and his ability to hit. That's exactly what he said, quote for quote. What do you see starting over there at third base, man? I know the rumors and stuff like that are the Arenado, you know what I'm saying? We could possibly throw Waldo in the mix, DJ LeMahieu, maybe go a little internally. Where do you stand on the third base situation?
First off, shout out to my guy Waldo, the Swiss Army man of the Yankee universe that I like to call him every time I see him. That's my guy. He shows me so much love anytime he sees me, whether it's at the stadium or whether it's at whatever signing he's doing. So shout out to him first and foremost. But no, when it comes to third base, like you said, there's a big question mark, right? You heard the comments today from Aaron Boone. I'm not sure how much stake we want to put behind those words, or is it smoke and mirrors, or the Yankees preparing the us fans to have DJ LeMahieu go out there opening day? Because when you look at it, DJ LeMahieu, he's making $15 million. The Yankees aren't trying to cut $15 million just like that and just let him sit at home and eat that money, right? The Yankees are going to try to get the most they can out of DJ LeMahieu. We've seen it with Josh Donaldson. We've seen it with Aaron Hicks. We've seen it with players that we've had on the team and us fans wanted to get rid of, right? So I think the Yankees will try to force feed us DJ LeMahieu if a move doesn't happen. But I also want to remind people that Brian Cashman came out and told everybody that Caleb Durbin was going to be the second baseman going into spring training, that Caleb Durbin was going to have every chance to win that job. A week or two later, we traded for Devin Williams and we sent Caleb Durbin packing. So sometimes I feel that the Yankees, they like to throw stuff out there just to test the waters, to see how the fan base is going to react. And I think the vast majority of the fan base aren't excited about DJ LeMahieu being the third baseman for opening day, right? So you heard a lot of the rumors with Nolan Arenado. You heard Alex Bregman's name get tossed around too. I don't think there's any traction with Alex Bregman. When it comes to Nolan Arenado, I know some fans may get upset. I see him going more to the Boston Red Sox than to the New York Yankees. I hate to even say that out of my mouth because I would love to have Nolan Arenado on this team. I just don't think the Yankees, and it's not on the Yankees, it's on the Cardinals, right? Because if you're the Cardinals, if you're going to trade for Nolan Arenado, one, you want to get off of that money. You're not trying to bring back any money on top of it. Two, when you look at the Boston Red Sox, they have more of a prospect pool to offer than the New York Yankees. I know Nolan Arenado kind of has like a no trade clause, so he decides where he goes. But I just think the Yankees are behind the Boston Red Sox in these conversations, and they're the favorite to land him.
Yeah. Boston made a little couple moves here and there. They're gonna be a little pesky this offseason. But shout out to my guy Max Coverage for being a member for 18 months. Says DJ's turntables are fried. That's his call over there. He's a DJ LeMahieu supporter, so he's a little bit upset that DJ is not gonna be the everyday starter. But I'm right there with you. Personally, man, I would like to see Waldo get the job. If we're gonna go internally, you know what I'm saying? I'm a big Oswaldo Cabrera fan, but I understand his value is more important as that Swiss Army knife, like you had alluded to. He's a guy that could play anywhere on the infield outside of catcher. We haven't seen it yet. You know what I'm saying? And center field, haven't seen it yet, but you can put him anywhere and he could be successful. I personally think the Yankees are done with, at least the big moves. Now, Alex Bregman's still out there. A lot of Yankees have been politicking for that. I have been one of the Yankee fans that have been politicking for Alex Bregman. There are three moves, Heck, that I've said I've wanted at third base because I want a legit third baseman. Let's keep it real. DJ LeMahieu and Oswaldo Cabrera are not natural third baseman by trade. Can they play there? Absolutely. Same thing with Jazz Chisholm, who now Jazz is back up the middle. His defense should be a lot more improved now that he's back where he originally started from. Three guys I've wanted. I've been on the Bregman train, you know what I'm saying? As long as the Bregman deal can come down a little bit, which his market has, still crashed, he's still out there. He's still available. If you're going to attack the trade market, which the Yankees have attacked the trade market fiery this year, you know what I'm saying, with Devin Williams and Cody Bellinger, I would like to go out and get Alec Boehm, or maybe Colorado Rockies tank out a little bit early, and you go see what you got for Ryan McMahon. That lefty bat will do very well in Yankee Stadium. What do you think about those options?
Those are two very interesting options. More Ryan McMahon than Alec Boehm. When it comes to Boehm, I know the Phillies, they want to trade him because the rumors around him is maturity, right? He has maturity issues in that clubhouse. And it's kind of hard to say that when you look at the Philadelphia Phillies, because I call them the frat boys of Major League Baseball. So if Alec Bowman doesn't have the maturity to hang out with the frat boys of Major League Baseball, how well would he do in the pressure cooker of the New York Yankees, of being with the Yankees? So I'm not sure about Bowman, but Ryan McMahon, that's a guy that I've been calling for ever since last year's trade deadline, right? If you look at a guy that gives you power, if you look at a guy that hits from the left-hand side, he could play third base, first base. He's not a gold glove defender, but he is better than whatever you could get from DJ LeMahieu right now in his career. He is very interesting. My only thing is, if you're the Colorado Rockies, he's one of the many young guys that you have on your team. And are you willing to just give up Ryan McMahon, who's a solid piece for you, if you're trying to go through a rebuild? That's the only issue that I have. If I'm the Colorado Rockies, I'm trying to hold on to him as long as I can so I could fill some seats while rebuilding, because he's the only star that we have, or he's the only bat that we can actually, sell tickets around. But if you're the Rockies, you got to trade him while his value is high. So if he starts the season on fire, I could see him being moved by the trade deadline. Shout out to Dev Finch. That's my guy.
Yep, Dev. Hey, appreciate you, man. Thank you for being a member for 5 months. Says, what up, Ace and Heckin', everybody? What up, man? Everybody say what's up to Dev. I'm right there with you. Last year, they were thinking about it. He went to their front office. Ryan McMahon went to the Colorado Rockies front office, with his family situation. That was probably one of the reasons why he didn't ultimately get moved. I could see it's going to be very interesting, as somebody's probably honking at somebody over there on your end. I hear that.
Yeah.
That New York traffic. But he's one of the more interesting pieces, because with this new playoff format, more teams are going to be in it. So that means that more teams are going to be in it by the trade deadline. Like, if we go into this season, which is looking like this is going to be the roster right here, with this roster currently, Yankees have to be very aggressive at the trade deadline. Realistically, I would like them to be, just like Jazz Chisholm last year, be a little bit more aggressive before the deadline, because at the deadline is when everybody's trying to make moves, and then it becomes a bidding war. Could Ryan McMahon be open, if the Rockies tank out? Possibly. I would personally like to see it. Like I said, that left-handed bat in Yankee Stadium would bode well, just like a trade acquisition that we got this year with Cody Bellinger. I think Cody Bellinger is going to have a great year with that short porch in Yankee Stadium. He wanted to be a Yankee. Finally, he's over here. Could add some protection to Aaron Judge. Also adds that versatility on that player option. Also adds that versatility in the field. Can play, center field, left field. Can also play first base as well to give Paul Goldschmidt some time off as well. So the Yankees have done a great job, in my opinion. Like, did we lose out on losing Soto? Absolutely. But we've pivoted and gotten better in other places. Defensive wise, we've gotten better. And if you get yourself a third baseman, then we're good to go. Pitching-wise, we've gotten better. We strengthened two strengths with our front rotation and with our starting rotation and the back end of the bullpen to add on to Luke Dreamweaver. Devin Williams, the airbender, is going to have a phenomenal year. I know you were playing videos of him earlier. That dude is hanging on to that beard, man. He don't want to let it go.
Yeah.
He walked into camp with it, but he's going to have to let that shit go.
Yeah, that was one thing I was joking with Devin Williams when I saw him at the Pinstripe Pride. I was in the back, the back black green room back there with him. So he was able to have a great conversation with him and his partner, him and his wife. Amazing human being. I tell you this right now, Yankee fans, you guys are going to be excited about Devin Williams. He's brought into being a Yankee. He's brought into being a New Yorker. He asked me, he was like, so we was talking about chopped cheese and bacon, egg, and cheeses. He was like, where can I get one? And I told him, you got to go to the original spot when it comes to chopped cheese. You got to go over there to Lennox and 148. That's the original spot when it comes to the chopped cheese. So Devin Williams, Yankee fans, get ready. He is locked in, and he said that the one thing that he's excited for is the fans. He said that is the one thing that he is excited for. So Devin Williams is locked in to be a New York Yankee.
Yeah, and I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? Like, last year we saw Clay Holmes blow a lot of saves for us last year. Could we have gotten to 100 games if Clay Holmes blows less saves, or if the defense was a little bit better behind him? And that's what the Yankees have solidified. They solidified themselves with the legit closer, Luke Weaver, who has become a fan favorite, what seems like overnight, now becomes that setup role. So it's basically like Yankees got themselves a lead within the seventh inning. You might call that game over. You know what I'm saying? Because then you got Luke Dreamweaver, and then you got the airbender and Devin Williams. You lock games down like that.
Ace, what's so special about Luke Weaver as a setup man, he's a guy that could go multiple innings, right? So there's going to be scenarios that you may see Luke Weaver in that 6th inning, pitching the 6th and 7th inning, bridging it to the 8th inning for like an Ian Hamilton before you get to Devin Williams, right? There's sometimes that he will come in that 7th inning and pitch you multiple innings to get to Devin Williams. Growing up, when we had the great Mariano Rivera, one phrase that we all heard from Michael Kay is bridging the gap to Devin Williams. And Luke Weaver, as a setup guy that could pitch multiple innings, 1, 2, maybe 3 innings sometimes, that's the perfect guy to bridge that gap to an all-star closer like Devin Williams. And Yankee fans, don't forget, we got Jonathan Loaisiga coming back in like July. So that's going to be a guy, if he comes back healthy, that's like adding a trade piece at the trade deadline. And he's a guy that if he's right and he's healthy, having him as an option in the 6th inning makes your bullpen just a lot more deadlier.
Absolutely. Also Fernando Cruz, you know what I'm saying? We added him as well. What we missed
lefties.
last year, yeah, what they wanted last year was, and I'm excited for Tim Hill. Like,
Same.
I'm excited for a full season of Tim Hill. Who did a phenomenal job when he came over. You know, Matt Blake and company know how to coach him up. We have a good, pitching coach staff over there as well. What we needed last year was swing and miss. You know what I'm saying? We got that this year. We were talking about, you mentioned Jonathan Loaisiga's injury. You know, we do have a little bit of news today where Jake Cousins will not be ready for opening day due to forearm stiffness. So hopefully he comes back. He's a guy that's got a filthy slider. Would like to see more of him as well. Our bullpen, like I said, is legit. I'm ready for the season to get started. Boone was also talking today about Jason Dominguez, who is a fan favorite right there. A lot of pressure on the young kid. I also heard you talking on Uptown Sports earlier today, talking about Yankee fans got to be a little patient with him. You know, if he comes out, struggles a little bit, allot him the same opportunity that Anthony Volpe got. Allow him to develop at this level. There are going to be growing pains. This is the major leagues, man. This is the top of the top. People are going to do that. Boone said he'd like to see Jason Dominguez in left field, but still has to go out and earn it. He'll have every opportunity this spring. I think that's a little window dressing. I think the job is his, to be honest with you. I think this is just to kind of take a little pressure off. Because who else are you going to put out there? Like the kid's time. You can't stop this kid from coming up any longer. It's his time, and, he's got to do his thing. Yeah,
the worst case scenario, Jason Dominguez hits below 200. That's the worst case scenario. Shout out to my guy D-Rod in the building. How you doing, D-Rod? Appreciate you, baby.
No lie. When I was watching you earlier this morning, I was thinking the same thing. I like, yo, Hector looking skinnier, man. That's because he's been grinding all off season, man. Been on the run, running all over the place, man. Hey, good shit, man. You doing good. Looking good.
I appreciate you, my guy. Just make sure I drink my water and get my 10K steps in every day. But no, when it comes to Jason Dominguez, right? Worst case scenario in spring training, if Jason Dominguez hits below 200, he's still going to be the starting center fielder on opening day, right? This is his job that he has. I don't think the Yankees are going to set him back and start the season with Jason Dominguez in the minors. I want to get that out the way. But my only concerns when it comes to Jason Dominguez is, like I said earlier on this morning on the live, Yankee fans, just be patient with Jason Dominguez. He's going to have some growing pains. We saw it last year when they stuck him in left field. He's more familiar with center field. And this is the thing that is scratching my head, right? I understand they're trying to shape the Yankees' future with Spencer Jones being the future center fielder. I'm worried about right now, right? And right now, Jason Dominguez is on this roster. If Spencer Jones turns out to be something cool, copy. That's just icing on the cake. But I'm worried about right now in this season. And if we're going to start the year with Jason Dominguez, who's going to be a rookie, his full rookie season, start him in a position where he's comfortable. And center field is where Jason Dominguez is comfortable. Use Cody Bellinger for left field, somebody who's played multiple outfield positions in his career. When you look at left field at Yankee Stadium, left field is a monster in Yankee Stadium. It's like playing center field in any other ballpark. If you're going to have a major league player have to tackle that tough left field, let it be Cody Bellinger, who's won a Gold Glove, and let Jason Dominguez be comfortable in center field. That's the only grievance I have with the Yankees. But besides that, I can see Jason Dominguez at minimum a 240, 250 hitter. And if we could get Jason Dominguez a 240, 250 hitter for his rookie year, that's better than Anthony Volpe's rookie year. So I'm sold with that.
Absolutely. A lot of reports out there, a lot of fans also want to lead him off as well. Boone came out and said, the leadoff hitter hasn't been determined yet. Could be a case-by-case basis based on lefties versus righties. What would you do leadoff spot-wise? Would you go Jazz Chisholm? Would you go Anthony Volpe? Would you go Jason Dominguez? Me personally, I think Jazz gets the job. I would love for it to ultimately be Volpe because I think he's got the tools to do it. I understand he bats better in the lower third of the lineup. 7 through 9 is kind of his bread and butter. But I think Jazz will probably end up being our leadoff spot. But as time is going on, I'm getting more open to the fact where I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't mind Dominguez up there if he can get that OPS up. But that's a lot to ask for a rookie full time, though. What do you think about that?
I gotta agree with you. Opening day, I've said it. Jazz Chisholm is going to be the leadoff hitter. In my mind, is Jazz Chisholm, Aaron Judge, Cody Bellinger, Giancarlo Stanton, Paul Goldschmidt, Austin Wells, Anthony Volpe, Oswaldo, and then Jason Dominguez as the 9-hole hitter for opening day. At some point, what's good, Luke? At some point, will that change? And will we see other people move up and down in the lineup? Absolutely, right? When you look at opening day last year, it was a totally different lineup than what we had at the last game of the World Series, right? So I do see it changing during the season. But if I had to put money, Jazz Chisholm will be the leadoff hitter for opening day. At some point, I could see Jason Dominguez sliding into the leadoff spot if he gets his on-base percentage up. But like you said, it's pretty tough to ask for a rookie. That's why I want to keep him as the 9-hole hitter. So when the lineup comes back around, he's that quote unquote leadoff hitter that second time through the lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the balance of this lineup feels a lot better than last year. Having the lefty, righty, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have, Jazz leading off, Judge back in his, a more comfortable position for him. He was killing it with Soto there last year, more RBI opportunities. But the analytics, which I'm, always against the analytical approach of your best player should bat second. I understand that he's going to get more at bats, yada, yada, yada. Cody Bellinger is going to add some protection along with Giancarlo Stanton. You can see those guys in the first inning, could definitely put up a crooked number inning. Paul Goldschmidt's a guy that can hit lefties well, on top of hit good pitching well. That's something a lot of people aren't talking about. And that's what you face in the playoffs. When you're in the playoffs, you're facing good pitching. Yankees tend to struggle. People say Yankees tend to struggle because we're going against good pitching. But Paul Goldschmidt, that's what he does. He hits good elite pitching. Then, you turn the lineup over at the bottom of the order with a guy like Austin Wells and Anthony Volpe, who are two guys that I'm looking to take the next step this year. I am a big advocate for Anthony Volpe. I see the talent is there. The power numbers dipped down from year 1 to year 2, but the average went up. I say it all the time. Volpe needs to be more closed off, hit the ball more to right field, especially in Yankee Stadium. More balls will go out, focus on getting on base, stuff like that. I'm looking for a guy like Austin Wells to have a great second year. Would love to see him up more in the lineup a little bit, but add that power and protection. Could you imagine, Volpe, getting on base, Wells driving him in, and then you got Jason Dominguez coming up. That's the difference between our roster this year and last year. We feel more deeper 1 through 9 this year than we were last year. We had a good tandem in Soto and Judge, no doubt, but a lot of question marks everywhere else. This feels like a more balanced lineup with Paul Goldschmidt and Cody Bellinger. What do you think?
When you look at the lineup we had, and I agree with you 100%, the lineup that we have right now, this roster right now, 1 through 9, it's a totally better than the team that we had that ended the World Series, even with Juan Soto in the lineup, right? And again, like you said, you cannot replace Juan Soto, but just listen to this. There are two guys that were in our lineup for the World Series that haven't even signed with a team right now, and that's Alex Verdugo and Anthony Rizzo. Automatically, our lineup is better because those two guys aren't in it. And that's no shade to Anthony Rizzo. Shout out to the Calzone. Shout out to Alex Verdugo, the Raza. Shout out to Alex Verdugo. But when you look at our issue last year, it was hitting with runners in scoring position. It was hitting left-handed pitching. And two people who were big culprits were Anthony Rizzo and Alex Verdugo. So when you add in a Paul Goldschmidt, who last year he hit 280 or 290 against left-handed pitching, automatically he makes our lineup better. For the entire season last year, he was a 245 hitter. When you look at our lineup from last year, Paul Goldschmidt would have been in the top 5 of batting averages from last year, right? The second half of the season, he was more of a 280 hitter, and that's what people can see him. And when you look at his stats over the last 4 years, last year he had 245. The year before he had 268, then 317, and then 294. So if we're going off for those last 4 years, on worse, he could be a 250 hitter. And a 250 hitter in our lineup is still a top hitter when it comes to what we produced last year. So automatically, Paul Goldschmidt and his veteran leadership makes the lineup better. And it's a platoon between Paul Goldschmidt and Ben Rice. A lot of people are forgetting Ben Rice in that equation. It's not just Paul Goldschmidt for the entire season. It's going to be majority Goldschmidt, but also Ben Rice contributing.
Yeah, yeah. Also, a lot of people forget about Peraza is out there as well. You know, he doesn't have any options, so he's going to have to be on the 40-day as well. That's a piece that I just think ultimately he's probably going to end up getting traded away. Like, I can see it, especially, you know, I mean, he, due to circumstances, you know what I'm saying, he might not have gotten a fair shake, but that's baseball. You know what I'm saying? That's baseball, Susan, right there. But with the
former
guys that
top
we have,
100, he's a former top 100 prospect in baseball, right? So there is talent there. There's something there.
I'd sell high on him, though. If he comes out in spring training hot, I'd sell high on him, especially, you know, a couple years, you know, we got George Lombard Jr., who the Yankees are very, you know, in love with, our number 2 prospect behind Jason Dominguez. Then you also have Roderick Arias, our number 3 prospect. You know, we did a good breakdown over there on Jason 161 Ave channel. That was a great time. Yeah, you know, we have young guys coming up. This is why I tip my hat. You know, I say it all the time. Hats off to Hal, kudos to Cashman in this offseason, because they've done moves to have this Yankee team win and compete this year in an AL where we are the best team in the AL as of right now. But then they've also done moves to prepare for the future as well. Short-term contract with Paul Goldschmidt was great. That gives us flexibility. Cody Bellinger on his player option, which I'm almost positive that, you know, he would probably pick it up. As much as he would want to be a Yankee, I doubt he's only going to be a Yankee for 1 year. But he's the guy that you could always move over to first base, go out and get Kyle Tucker next year. You know, Yankees have options. There's still moves to be made. We got to get a third baseman. Marcus Stroman, who reported today, they were talking about another note right here is that Stroman's in a good place mentally. It may be a bit of an awkward situation, but the Yankees are getting ready to pitch and the situation will work itself out. What do you think is going on with the Stroman situation? Because me personally, I understand why. The money is the main reason why they're trying to move on from Marcus Stroman, to get under that luxury tax. But part of me also looks at him like, if he's willing to play ball and be a team player, a foxhole guy, man, if he was a little bit cheaper, I'd keep him, because you need that 6th starter. You know someone's going to go down with the injury, and it's good to have that guy in Marcus Stroman that can eat up innings and be productive. What do you think about him?
When it comes to Marcus Stroman, he has a vesting option for next year, right? He has to hit 140 to 150 innings. I don't think the Yankees are going to allow him to pitch 140 or 150 innings if he's still on this roster. I don't think any team is going to allow him to meet those vesting, quote unquote, markers that he have to meet. When it comes to Stroman, I said it earlier, pitching is something that is a commodity in Major League Baseball, especially a starting pitcher who can eat innings. Last year, Marcus Stroman pitched 140 to 150 innings. When Garrett Cole started the season on the IL, Marcus Stroman was somebody that we relied on heavily, right? The issue with Marcus Stroman is that he suffered from horrible, atrocious Yankee defense, specifically Gleyber Torres. We all know Gleyber Torres is the worst second baseman in Major League Baseball. But for some reason, Gleyber Torres was especially worse when Marcus Stroman was on the mound and his ERA and suffered a lot. Before that, we saw how frustrated he got during the game when Aaron Judge had to pull him to the side. Rightfully so. When it comes to Stroman, I had no issue with that. He's just being passionate. David Wells used to do the same shit back in the day. So David Wells used to do the same thing back in the day. My fault for cursing. So I have no issue. You good? With so I have no issue with it. For me, the thing with Stroman, like I said, is that we are one injury away if we get rid of Marcus Stroman from having Will Warman or Chase Hampton in that starting rotation for multiple starts. And I'm not sure that the New York Yankees are comfortable in those young kids having to pitch in big time situations. So I think Marcus Stroman is a guy that you could have when you got to break the glass in case of emergency, a 6th man that you got to throw out there here and there, a spot starter, a veteran leader in that locker room, in that starting rotation. That's why I could see Marcus Stroman.
Yeah, and also kudos to Marcus Stroman, because during the playoffs, you know, not a peep, and he's known to be a guy that's been very vocal about
nothing on social media.
Yeah, so that's kudos to him. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe he wants to be here. Maybe he, obviously he, the Yankee social media took, he's not following them anymore. That type of stuff. That's just the usual stuff. But like you said, break glass case of emergency. Because somebody, hopefully last year, Garrett Cole went down immediately. Hopefully we don't see that this year. I would love for just one season where the Yankees are just fully healthy and let the chase for 28 begin, and let's just take off from there. But yeah, as far as Will Warren, Chase Hampton, also I think Clayton Beater's probably going to make the opening day roster as well. The Yankees are very high on him, even though he's a little bit banged up from what they were saying. Had some shoulder injury in the offseason, but is believed to be past it now. Boone says the 26-year-old is currently throwing, but a little bit behind this spring. So we're going to see what happens when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But pitching something that you could always use. Marcus Stroman does have value. If you're going to trade him away, he does have value to another team, a guy that can eat up innings, but it's just like, I personally, if he was just a little bit cheaper, or if the Yankees weren't trying to be so cheap, trying to be so frugal and stuff like that, just do what you got to do, man.
Well, when you look at it, right, look at the market, right? 18 million for a starting pitcher who could pitch 140, 150 innings. That's on par with the asking price for that type of starting pitcher. So Marcus Stroman is at market value. Frankie Montas is making more money than Marcus Stroman this year, and he didn't pitch as many innings that Marcus Stroman did last year, right? So when you look at it, it's kind of a bargain. Matt Scherzer is making 12 or 13 million from the Toronto Blue Jays. It's just a 5 million difference. He's robbing the Blue Jays if you were to ask me. Shout out to my guy CK. So I think Marcus Stroman at 18 million, yes, it sucks because we wish that 18 million was Arenado's 21 million. I understand that, but I think for the market value, Marcus Stroman is right there when it comes to when it comes to that market value for that type of starting pitcher. Shout out to my guy Jacob Pachuzzi in the chat.
I was just about to ask him to do that, man. Hey, Jacob is the best mod on
he
YouTube
is
that you can ask
Jacob.
for.
Yeah, Jacob is the best mod. He's the best when it comes to clipping stuff. Anytime you tell I need to clip that, Jacob already has it in your DM. So shout out to my guy Jacob Pachuzzi. I've known Jacob for quite some time on YouTube and the internet. He's real good people. Shout out to Jacob.
Yeah, man. So make sure you guys sub up to Uptown Sports, man. My guy Hector does a great job. This is interesting. Fireside Yankees posted from Andy Martino a couple minutes ago, about 8 minutes ago. The Yankees considered signing Bregman, but decided to use their assets on players like Max Fried, Cody Bellinger, and Devin Williams. They also were never seriously considered a trade for Nolan Arenado, which is what Sean was saying. We need Arenado. If the money's the biggest thing, I think is holding up that Arenado situation.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, we like they cooked this offseason. Dude, we got Max Fried. Obviously, we traded for Bellinger and Devin Williams, but we didn't give up anything. Like, it did feel, I'm not going to lie, it did feel a little weird seeing those Yankee promos and not seeing Nestor. I'm not going to lie. I felt that a little bit this morning.
Yeah, it was when you look at how Brian Cashman operated this offseason. Before this offseason, a lot of people talk about all the Yankees that don't develop prospects and starting pitching and stuff. Brian Cashman, over the past 3 or 4 years, traded about 30 of our pitching prospects in trades. Just think about that. 30 different pitching prospects were traded over the past 3 or 4 years from the Yankee system. When you look at this offseason, he traded from his major league depth. No one in the minor league system was traded away. It was everybody that was on the major league roster. So that's some points. That's some flowers that got to go to Brian Cashman, the cash god. I know a lot of Yankee fans, we like beating up on Brian Cashman. We like picking up on him, picking on him. But one thing I'm going to say is that when you look at Cashman, a lot of people can call me crazy for saying this, but Brian Cashman, he's a Hall of Fame general manager. Whether you like to admit it or not, when Brian Cashman took over and was a part of the New York Yankees in 1996, the Yankees were worth $900 million. From 1996 to now, the New York Yankees are worth over $8 billion. Now, us fans probably don't care about that, but the shareholders, the people that write the checks, the people that buy corporate sponsorships, they care that Brian Cashman has been a part of that growth that the New York Yankees have been under. So again, us fans may not care about it, but the shareholders do. And Brian Cashman, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame as a GM, whether you like it or not.
Where do you stand on because I've voiced my opinions on Aaron Boone. Talks have kind of talked about extensions a little bit from what we've heard. I've been on NFE's channel talking about it, Max's channel, 161.
Shout out to NFE.
Yeah, shout out to all those dudes. I do want to know what's your opinion on that though. Would you extend Aaron Boone?
When it comes to Aaron Boone, Jacob Cash is the best used car salesman in the business. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He finessed Caleb Durbin. Like I said, everybody thought Caleb Durbin was going to be the second baseman. People on Twitter were losing it. But no, when it comes to Aaron Boone, he's going to be a Yankee, right? He's the perfect guy to be that bridge between the front office and Brian Cashman. Whether you guys like to say that he has a computer that's telling him the moves to make or whatever, I don't know. I'm not in that. I'm not in his decision-making room. I'm not there when they get their scouting reports. The one thing I'm gonna say is when it comes to baseball, Aaron Boone is a solid baseball mind, right? You heard Brian Cashman say that Aaron Boone decided to go with Jazz Chisholm at third base and Gleyber Torres at second. I think if there was no truth to that, I don't think Brian Cashman would have just say that just to say that, because he threw Gleyber Torres in the mud. Like he came out and said, yeah, Gleyber Torres was basically, quote unquote, without saying it, Gleyber Torres was selfish. Booney wanted to keep him at second and made the decision. So from that, it kind of seems like Aaron Boone has some say, but I can see Aaron Boone getting that contract extension. But whether it's now, whether it's 2 years, 3 years, his future is not with the New York Yankees. His future is managing the Cincinnati Reds. I have been saying this for a long time. The Cincinnati Reds, they are a growing organization. They are turning the pages over there. He has connections to that organization with his father and his brothers. I can see, not now, maybe 2, 3, 4 years down the line, Aaron Boone taking the job with the Cincinnati Reds. But for right now, he's a New York Yankee.
So then who would you want to see take the reins over for the next Yankee manager then?
Oh God, I'm gonna be quote unquote the typical Yankee fan, and I'm gonna say Jorge Posada. Posada is who I want, bro.
Bro, I love you, bro. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I say it all year long. One, catchers make the best managers. We know that for a fact. Bringing another Yankee, it's just like, is he interested? We don't know. There's a lot of people that want David Cone, that want Paul O'Neill. I think they're cushy. I think they're good where they're at right now. Bringing a guy like, Jorge Posada, I would love that. You know what I'm saying? Like Brian Cashman, maybe you elevate him to a executive position, bring in Derek Jeter as a general manager. That's a Yankee fan's dream right there, man.
Yeah,
Will that happen? I don't know.
When it comes to Cashman, yeah, Tito is a skipper now. That's why I said in like 3 or 4 years, I can see that. When it comes to Cashman, he's going to retire a Yankee. That may happen in 4 or 5 years, no time soon. But Jorge Posada, if you talk about wanting a manager that's in the trenches, Jorge Posada has admitting to like peeing on his hands so he could get calluses in it. So Jorge Posada is a gamer. He does stuff that is outside the box, untraditional. And, we all know how he feels about like Alex Rodriguez, right? He's very vocal about how he feels about Alex Rodriguez. And I think that's the type of manager you have. Somebody that's not scared to say what's on their mind. And Jorge Posada, if he was to be the Yankees manager in the future, he would be the first ever Latino to be the Yankees manager, specifically being somebody who is Dominican and Cuban, but he was raised in PR. I would definitely would want Jorge Posada to be the manager, selfishly.
Yeah, he's top on my list. Aaron Boone, though, with this situation, like, I think I've been on the record saying I think it's going to go to Joe Girardi route. They're going to probably let the contract play itself out and then maybe decide to move on amicably. But it just depends. If he messes around and takes us to another World Series, it's hard to move away from a guy like that. If he messes around and we win it this year, it's going to be hard to move away from a guy like that.
Yeah, we live in a world of what have you done for me lately? And recently he brought this team to the World Series, right? He got us to, he got us past where Joe Girardi couldn't, but back when we let Joe Girardi go. I know we won in 2009 with Girardi, but the reason why we let Girardi go is we couldn't get past that hump. And Aaron Boone finally got us further now to the World Series. Now he has to go out there and actually win a World Series, right? So I agree with you. If we're going off of recency bias, Aaron Boone is the manager. He got us to a World Series.
Yeah. Where's that going to be a future manager? I
don't see with the Yankees. I can see with the Cubs.
Not with the Yankees. I could see him as more of a bench coach, to be honest with you, type situation, because he's a good clubhouse dude.
He is.
It's just unfortunate, like, and you had alluded to earlier on your show, dude, that Rizzo situation stinks because, great guy, great ball player. Yeah. That concussion might have ended his career.
Back years. Yeah, it set him back years. We saw what happened with Clint Frazier, a.k.a. Jackson Frazier. When Clint Frazier got that concussion in spring training, he was never the same hitter. He was never the same hitter. He always killed it in the minor leagues. He just never was able to do it at the major league level. Even when you took Clint Frazier and put him back in the minors, back in AAA, where he always killed it, he can never produce the same. So we see what concussions can do specifically for outfielders or for hitters in Major League Baseball. And Clint Frazier and Anthony Rizzo suffered the same thing. But Anthony Rizzo was forced to stay out there and play. And I think that's what made it worse. Compile that with his years, his age, it just didn't help. It just didn't help Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah, because it was a huge drop off a cliff. Like, I remember watching those games. He was hot. He was hot before he got into that concussion, hitting very well. Then all of a sudden, it's like, what the hell happened, dude?
He was
like,
hitting over 300. He had double digit home runs with 10 or 11 home runs. He started the season hot. Fernando Tatis' ass just took him out.
Yeah, I mean, like Sean said, misdiagnosing the Yankees part too. You got to kind of figure that shit out, and they could have made it worse as well. But yeah, we're gonna be wrapping things up here because I know you got to head out, man. But I appreciate you as always for coming on.
I appreciate you, brother. Anytime you want to tap me in for the season, bro, just send the bat signal and I would be there. I appreciate you. Folks, make sure you guys subscribe to Ace. This is family right here. This is my guy Ace. I'll be looking forward to this baseball season. That's a fact.
Before you get out of here, though, man, give me a Yankee prospect that you're excited to see, and then give me your breakout Yankee player for the 2024 season. Give me a pitcher and then give me a position player. So give me those three things.
I'm excited for George Lombard Jr., right? Same. That's a prospect that ever since the Yankees got him, what people don't understand, George Lombard Jr. was a top high school prospect who was committed to Vanderbilt, right? If thank you, I appreciate you, Jacob. If he would have went to Vanderbilt, he would have been a top 5 pick in next year in the draft right afterwards. He grew up a Yankee fan, right? This is a kid that he grew up around Major League Baseball because his father played for the Detroit Tigers as well. So this is a guy, when it comes to the mental preparation, when it comes to being raised in a baseball family, this is the perfect makeup. The Yankees got to steal when it comes to George Lombard Jr. Another prospect, I know you only asked me for one, but Spencer Jones. What is he going to be? Is Spencer Jones going to be the next Aaron Judge, or is he going to be Joey Gallo? We don't know, right? So that's yet to see.
I just want him to be Spencer Jones, man. Just be the best Spencer Jones you could be.
Same. At the major league level, Jason Dominguez, we got to see what happens with the Martian. Luis Hill is somebody I'm looking forward to. What is he going to do in his second year after winning Rookie of the Year? It's just his team as a whole I'm excited for, from the starting rotation to the bullpen. What is Max Fried going to look like being behind Garrett Cole? Now Carlos Rodon could be a number 3 starter, take a lot of pressure off of Carlos Rodon. If Carlos Rodon is right, he has the potential of being the best number 3 starter in Major League Baseball. I know we have some question marks. We have the same amount of question marks when it comes to our roster that the Dodgers do. What is Shohei Ohtani going to be coming back from his second Tommy John? Same thing with Yamamoto and Roki. So there's a lot of question marks when it comes to our team and its health. I'm just excited that baseball is back, bro.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Personally, when it comes to Carlos Rodon, I put him in the 4 spot only because I like that balance. I like the righty-lefty. I put Luis Hill at 3, in my opinion. Obviously, you can mix and match when it comes to the playoff time. That's when it's kind of more important. Having back-to-back lefties is a little bit peculiar when it comes to baseball like that. George Lombard Jr., dude, like I said, high on him as well. My take on him is, my profile, great defender, great versatile defender, very athletic. Some of the plays he's able to make at shortstop is, unbelievable, definitely an untouchable. What would you do with him in a Volpe situation, though? Because, if George Lombard Jr. came up, I wouldn't be opposed to moving Volpe to second base. I wouldn't be opposed to it.
The Yankees are internally converting George Lombard Jr. into a third baseman. So the Yankees, when you look at their prospect farm system, there's 2 glaring holes. That's first base and that's third base. And I think the Yankees are trying to move George Lombard to be an everyday third baseman because of that range going right and left. That's where I think his future is at. If it came down to it, his glove is major league ready. If George Lombard Jr. was with the Oakland Athletics, he could be breaking this year Major League roster because his glove is elite. His glove is already Major League ready. It's what is his bat going to do at the AA and AAA level. That's what the Yankees want to see. And again, like I said, they're trying to convert him to third base. I personally would keep him as a shortstop, move Anthony Volpe to second base. But when you have Volpe as a shortstop already in the major leagues, you got Roderick Arias, who is in the pipeline coming up. The Yankees are going to be moving Roderick Arias to second base with George Lombard as their third baseman of the future. That's how the Yankees are internally lining up their prospects from the people that I spoke to.
Yeah, that's a great young, very athletic infield, which is like what we haven't had in a while. But when you do that, you need a good cornerstone first baseman. You need a guy that could pick it, because you're going to have a guy like, we know Volpe tends to make his throwing errors from time to time. You're going to have two young guys out there. So you're going to need to get yourself a legit first baseman to be able to pick it over there. So
and that's why the Yankees, that's a big spot that they do not have right now. I'm telling you this right now. When you look at the draft this year, do not be surprised if the Yankees take multiple first basemen trying to beef up their first base depth in the farm system.
Oh yeah, because I'm not, let's just go. I'm not even buying into the Murakami shit to next year. Like, I'm not even gonna.
He going to the Dodgers. All right, he going to the Dodgers.
And thank you, David, for being a member for 11th month. Says you're calling the championship season. It's only 28. That's right, Chase for 28. Yo, from your mouth to God's ears. But yeah, Murakami, man, he's not coming here. Like I said, next year, if you throw bank at Kyle Tucker, I wouldn't be opposed to Bellinger at first base. I would not be opposed to that. Me personally, I have a soft place in my heart for lefty first baseman. That easier to turn to double play, easier to apply the tag. I'm right there with it. But look, Heck, man, I appreciate you, my guy, man. Thank you for coming on as always. Anytime you need me on Uptown Sports, definitely let me know. Guys, Jacob, one more time, drop the link down to Hector's channel, please. Thank you. Make sure you subscribe to Uptown Sports. Hector's the man. They do a lot of great things over there. My guy's plugged in, been busy all off season, and I appreciate you for taking the time to come on here, man.
I appreciate you, my guy. I wish you nothing but the success this season. And like David said, you're calling a championship season. This is number 28, mi hermano.
That's right, man. Like I said, I would love to have, me and Hector are talking. I'm going to have him come on here, call a couple games. I would love to see you call a couple games and see some of your home run calls or you cursing somebody out. I would have loved to see you come on last year with all them boneheaded Gleyber Torres mistakes.
Man.
This motherfucker. That was me.
Well, I look forward to doing it this season, bro. I look forward to it. And again, thank you so much for having me on, my guy.
Cool, man. No doubt, man. And also, I'm going to head out of here as well, man. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe to the Ace Avenue for your sports, movies, and more. Busy week coming up for yours truly. I'm going to be getting back on the Yankee stuff. Spring training officially starts next week. I will be calling games leading to the regular season. The chase for 28, baby, and it feels so good. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like and subscribe. As always, thank you for tuning into the Ace Avenue. I am yours truly, the Ace, with my guy Hector from Uptown Sports. Adios.
We out.